In the top stories, Sunset Reef activates new sustainable energy storage system. National Trust celebrates 130th anniversary of Treasury building. And St. Kitts Credit Union donates bus to Association of Persons with Disabilities. The details on these stories and more after the break.
The court's wishlist project can easily be likened to a genie giving the lucky holder of its lamp a variety of free wishes. However, the initiative, according to OECS merchandise manager Anita Phillips, doesn't work that way. The process, she says, is a lot more in-depth.
It brings us great joy to reintroduce the court's wishlist project. The project is about helping to change and improve the lives of the persons within our communities who need it the most. The program differs from our everyday issue of donations because it helps us take a targeted approach in meeting those people who are mostly in need and helping change their lives.
One of the things that make the court's wishlist project unique, Phillips says, is that no one can make a wish on their own behalf, but rather the wish being requested must be made for someone else.
A big part of the program is encouraging persons to look out for their fellow men. So someone cannot make a wish on their own behalf, but rather they need to be looking within their communities to select someone who is most in need of a wish.
In addition, Phillips stated that wishes are not limited to Court's wide range of products, but can be something from any other company to ensure that the need is adequately met. The company is soliciting the assistance of the public to look out for each other in their various communities.
Help us in our quest to find and assist the persons who are most in need within our communities. Look around you. It may be someone you already know, or maybe someone you've heard about. Tell us about them. Every request will be thoroughly vetted, and this will allow us to select only the persons who need the support the most.
The court's wishlist project was recently launched across the OECS in islands of Antigua, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts, and St. Vincent.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Berridge. Sunset Reef, the five-star luxury boutique, flipped the switch to officially activate its cutting-edge sustainable energy storage system that will see the resort operating on 100% green energy, utilizing solar power and other renewable sources. Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, along with the Minister responsible for Energy, Honorable Conway Maynard, and owner of Sunset Reef, David Fletcher, flipped the switches to activate the new system during a brief ceremony at the resort in Palmetto Point on Tuesday, March 19th. Prime Minister Drew said he is pleased with the first step towards renewable energy.
I want to say how elated I am that we have finally achieved that such an advanced technology in the realm of renewable energy and battery storage or energy storage capacity is here for the first time in the Caribbean in St. Kitts and Nevis. I spoke about this at the regional meetings. I'm the chair for the OECS, that's the group of countries in this region, and I introduced the concept to them. And the last time I was at CARICOM, which is the larger Caribbean community, I also introduced the concept. And a few of the prime ministers and presidents were asking what type of technology is this. And I told them very soon we will have a technology in St. Kitts and Nevis where we are able to store energy from the sun, not using heavy metal based storage technology, but a capacitor.
Minister of Energy, Honorable Conway Maynard, explained the effects that this will have across the region.
This is a historic occasion, not just for St. Kitts and Nevis, but really the region, where we just switched on the first solid-state supercapacitor, which will be able to store, for instance, solar energy into that capacitor and create a battery energy storage system so that you can have continuous power. So the sun is shining now. We are at Sunset Reef. They're taking the solar power feeding their system, also being stored in the supercapacitor. When the sun goes down or cloud comes over, the supercapacitor takes over. It's effectively the replacement of batteries as we know it.
Green energy transition is one of the 7 key pillars upon which the government of St. Kitts and Nevis's Sustainable Island State agenda is based. The Prime Minister said that this encapsulates a number of critical factors, including the use of renewable resources, lowered energy costs, and creating an energy sector in the Federation. In celebration of 130 years of the old Treasury building, the St. Christopher National Trust utilized the sugar train to take residents and visitors on historical rides around Bastille to explore the history of the capital city. Ahead of the tours, a ceremony was held on the Bay Road, where officials recognized the significance of the building constructed in 1894. President of the St. Christopher National Trust, Kevin Taylor, spoke of the significance of the day's celebrations.
When this building first rose from the ground 130 years ago, it was more than just a physical structure. It embodied the aspiration and the flourish of the flourishing nation, a beacon of hope and progress in a world of uncertainty. Over the years, it has witnessed the ebb and the flow of history, standing tall through times of triumph and adversity alike. Today is not about commemorating a structure of bricks and mortar, but also celebrating the enduring spirit of our nation, the resilience of our people who labored in the planning and completion of the process of this historic site, and the legacy of those who came before us. The Treasury building stands as a symbol of a collective heritage, a testament to the vision and dedication of those who laid its foundation over a century ago.
Referring to the Treasury building as a historic landmark, Executive Director of the St. Christopher National Trust, Etsu Bradshaw Keynes, spoke of the history of the structure.
A symbol of the Federation's rich heritage and architectural splendor. As we reflect upon the remarkable journey of this building, we are reminded of the countless stories it holds within its walls. From its inception in 1894, the old Treasury building has stood as a steadfast witness to the evolution of our city, bearing witness to the trials and the triumphs of generations past. Today, as we mark this significant milestone, we not only pay homage to the architectural marvel that is the old Treasury building, but also celebrate the enduring legacy it represents. This building has served as a beacon of governance, a bastion of culture, and a testament to the resilience of our community.
She also spoke of the link that will be shared between the old building and the new structure that is being built.
Throughout its storied history, the old Treasury building has played a pivotal role in shaping the identity of St. Kitts, serving as the nerve center of economic activity, housing precious artifacts, and preserving the collective memory of our people. Its majestic facade stands as a testament to the craftsmanship of yesteryears, while its interiors whisper tales of bygone eras. The new building, and I repeat, the new building, will be waiting to be discovered by each new generation. As we commemorate this milestone, let us not only celebrate the past, but also embrace the promise of the future.
The anniversary ceremony ended with a toast to 130 years of success. During the hourly guided tours throughout the day, persons were given a unique view of iconic sites, including the Independence Square, Government House, the St. George's Anglican Church, and the Bastille Cenotaph, while learning the history behind each of them. The St. Kitts and Nevis Association of Persons with Disabilities is the recipient of a bus donated by the St. Kitts Credit Union. At a brief handing over ceremony on Thursday at the McKnight Community Center, President of the St. Kitts and Nevis Association of Persons with Disabilities, Joseph Bergen, expressed his appreciation for the donation.
As the President of the St. Kitts and Nevis Association of Persons with Disabilities, I too would like to convey sincere thanks and extended gratitude to the St. Kitts Cooperative Credit Union and their institution, their work they have been doing throughout the years to the Federation, and considering us with this kind gesture. So I would like you to convey to your institution and your colleagues that we are grateful and we are more than thankful for the bus you donated this afternoon, sir.
St. Clair Hodge, Product Development Manager at the St. Kitts Credit Union, made the presentation.
We at the Credit Union, members of the board, management, staff, and its members, we saw it fit to donate this vehicle to the association. We have a special place in our heart for persons who are differently abled, and we think it's appropriate to make this contribution. We've realized that you do have a vehicle, it's a very large vehicle, and sometimes if you need to make smaller runs, it can be cumbersome or expensive to operate. And we found the opportunity in this van that we have to make this contribution. And it's part of our ethos, it's part of who we are for inclusion and making the lives of our people and our members better.
St. Clair Hodge, Project Development Manager at the St. Kitts Credit Union. After the break, Trident Trust launches in Nevis and volunteers needed for Wingfield Aqueduct restoration. Stay with us.
Here are your Horseman's Value Mart IGA specials.
Running March 21st, April 3rd.
And now our Blue Tag specials. Old Orchard apple drinks, $9.99. Nature Valley snack bars, $13.99. Swiss Miss hot chocolate mix, $9.99. Palm cooking oil spray, $14.99. Essential everyday frozen fruit, $16.99. Kellogg's Special K cereals, $18.99. And now our very low weekly
Value deals. Nabisco Chips Ahoy, $17.99. Post Great Grain cereals, $18.99. The Colgate toothpaste, $6.99. Hama Nama deodorant, $8.99. Dole fruit bowls, $14.99. Hama Nama liquid detergent, $14.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Today, let Own Mortgage show you the way. Own your own, your family, your home, build it with pride. National Bank is right here by your side. With every step, with every loan, National Bank helps you find your own. Oh yeah, build your future today. Let Own Mortgage show you the way. Own your own.
We've been working to bring you our most reliable internet ever.
And today, we are very excited to offer gig speed on Flo's fiber-powered network.
The best entertainment experience in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And plans that give you everything you need.
It's a new Flo, and it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired by you.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Malik Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Latrice Lawrence.
Welcome back. Past and present government leaders, legal professionals, and members of the financial services industry in Nevis gathered at the Bath Hotel for the official launch of Trident Trust Company Limited, formerly Morningstar Holdings, an offshore financial services company based in Nevis for the past 40 years. Honorable Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Finance, attended the launch and spoke about the financial services sector's impact on the island. He seized the opportunity to reaffirm the Nevis Island Administration's commitment to ensuring the sector's continued success.
I think that it's important for all of the reasons we've heard that Nevis can now say that it's part of a flagship organization internationally. And we're delighted to have Trident. I knew that this was in the works for some time. I'm happy that we're now celebrating that, and we're celebrating it in such an historic building here at the Bath Hotel. But certainly, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for all the reasons you've heard. I think Mr. Parry gave a very interesting perspective as to where we've come from in terms of the financial services industry.
Premier Brantley paid homage to former Premier and national hero Sir Dr. Simeon Daniel for his work in bringing the financial services sector to Nevis.
We would not have had a financial services sector were it not for the vision of our national hero, Sir Simeon Daniel. And I believe that every time anyone works in this sector, we ought to remember fondly his contribution to making this happen. And when the CCM would have got into government in 1992, I believe it was, the monopoly that existed and ended in 1994, that was the advent of new legislation, new products. And I think those new products and new entrance into the market allowed the growth that we saw. And of course, Morningstar Holdings, now Trident, still is king of the jurisdiction because they continue to have the lion's share of the business here. And that which has endured for 40 years.
Former Premier of Nevis, Joseph Parry, remarking on the significance of the launch, provided a brief history of the island of Nevis's early financial services sector in the 1980s.
It all started with Cecil Byron. Cecil Byron was at a party and he met a gentleman by the name of Bill Bernard. And they got into a conversation and Cecil thought that he should meet Mr. Daniel, and he did. Now, Mr. Daniel, being the kind of person he was, he moved very quickly to get some action. Went over to St. Kitts because he had to get permission from the federal government. And of course he met some resistance. They felt that Nevis did not have any grounds to stand on in terms of financial services. But somehow they were able to point to the Constitution and on the Nevis they claimed that they could, and they did. Luckily they had the support of William Herbert, who praised Mr. Daniel to the highest heaven for that initiative.
Mr. Parry reflected on his contribution to drafting the first piece of legislation for the operation of the financial services industry in Nevis.
And so we got together around the table and started to work on a bill. I found myself among a bunch of lawyers working on a bill and making a contribution. I'm saying to myself, what do you know about law? What contribution you're making? But that didn't stop me, as I was that type of person in those days. And so we had the first legislation, the offshore services legislation here on the island of Nevis. Now, a lot of people were skeptical. They had no idea what this was about. But we were told that the guys used to operate in Liberia, and things had gone wrong there, and they wanted to move to a new jurisdiction. The BVI was there, Panama was there, and they felt that they could do something in Nevis. Nevis was a new nation, and so they asked for and got a monopoly, hoping that they would attract businesses from Hong Kong to Nevis.
Trident Trust has provided corporate and fiduciary services in Nevis since 1984. formerly through wholly owned subsidiaries that included Morningstar Holdings Limited and Meridian Trust Company Limited, which now operates as Trident Trust Company Nevis Limited. Licensed and regulated by the Nevis Financial Services Department, they are the oldest and largest company formation agent in Nevis. A call for volunteers is open to persons interested in archaeological feats or historical finds at the Wingfield Estate in the ongoing Aqueduct restoration. Mervyn Thompson has the story.
If you're inquisitive with maybe some time on your hands, or you might be interested in history and historical preservations, the Aqueduct restoration at the Wingfield Estate in St. Kitts might intrigue you. ZIZ News visited the site to be restored, where Maurice Widdowson, founder of Carabel Batik and owner and developer of Wingfield Estate, gave a detailed explanation.
This structure here was put on after this, and these are old bricks, and they were put as support to this structure. So these would have been maybe an old building that they replaced, and they used these to support this. But what they failed to do, and here's our challenge and our problem, they are separating all the way up to the top. This is separating from this. So as it separates, this will have less support and become vulnerable to collapse. So this is the work we need to do. And it doesn't just end here. You have to go down. If you have a look in the pit here, there's several different kinds of stonework, masonry, and they were unsuccessfully, at the time that they extended them, they weren't tied into each other. You know, heat affects them, water affects them, and because of the little cracks in them, water gets into those little cracks and makes them bigger cracks and bigger cracks. And then a little seed will get into those cracks, and that will expand over time and start root systems in them. This is a serious problem that we want to address. It's not pretty, and it's not fancy, and it's not a wow factor like many of the things are here, but it is essential for maintaining the integrity of the aqueduct. So help is what we need to help us fix this.
Widdowson spoke further of the scope of work and its duration.
The renovation, we've allocated 2 weeks for it, and we're looking for volunteers to help us. And now David Rollinson is an absolute expert, probably more than most, on the history of the archaeological sites in St. Kitts. He's helped rebuild them, restructure them, redesign them, and anybody that works alongside David will have a massive amount of input and information fed to them. So we're looking for the dates between the 19th of March and the 3rd of April for people who will volunteer to join the team from Monday to Friday at the absolute minimum, from 9 o'clock until to help with the renovation project. It's work, so it's not for the faint-hearted or the people that are not quite active and fit, and it wouldn't be suitable for anybody under the age of 18 years old.
On an estate as large as Wingfield, other areas are also in need of attention.
We have a particular issue which is ongoing, which is constant renovation and rediscovery. For example, down by Old Road River, which is just across the road from where I am now, we know, because I have sketches and photographs from the 2 centuries ago, of warehousing. Originally the road wasn't at the level it is now. It was down by the riverside, and you cross the river across a ford, a shallow part of the river, and there were warehousing alongside of the river. I have found some of the foundations, and going forward that is an area of huge interest to us for future excavation. But we continue to focus on this site until we have this in a manner which is even more interesting than it is at the moment.
Interested persons can contact Maurice Widdowson at isleshopper@sisterisle.kn. Persons should state their names, give a contact number, and the days and times they could be available to assist. For ZIZ News, I'm Mervyn Thompson.
Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew is confident that the students of the Keon High School who are now engaged in remote learning for a period of 2 weeks are not being disadvantaged, as students will use laptops distributed to their care last November. Prime Minister Drew is quoted as saying the system is set up such that they can do their studies, practice exams, their teachers can have access to the practice exams, see the results and send feedback to those students. So it is very enlightening to know that what we have done is now positively helping the situation in Keon. He noted that this was one of the crucial lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic, where many students were left behind because they lacked access to devices and to the internet. He emphasized that this is also important if St. Kitts and Nevis is to keep pace with the rest of the technologically evolving world. The Prime Minister also commended Deputy Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley and his team for ensuring the successful implementation of the project that now makes it more convenient for students to be engaged remotely. Come up in regional news, Grenada rebrands CBI program. The details when we come back.
Attention, savvy shoppers. Brace yourself for the Bright Deals electronic sales boom at Portsmouth's Building and Nevis Centers, where big savings are about to go. Get ready for the boom-fastic 25% off all electrical items store-wide for the entire month of March. From gadgets to lighting, now is your chance to brighten up your space without dimming your budget. Rush to Horford's today and let the boom-fastic savings go. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
We've been working to bring you our most reliable internet ever.
And today, we are very excited to offer gig speed on Flo's fiber-powered network.
The best entertainment experience in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And plans that give you everything you need.
It's a new flow, and it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired. And it's all inspired by you.
And we're moving now to news on the regional scene. On Thursday, March 20